Hi, welcome back to the next part to build a train. Today we want to work on this complicated thing here. So I start your screencast keys and we begin. This whole thing we built with a cube, like ever. Scale in the set to a size from the middle part. We only make in the moment the middle part, then we get the other parts out from there. That means we have that. So what we need there is a modifier a subdivision surface on a level 2. You see we have that here. You mean that can't be every time that? It can. So the thing we have to do is we build these holes in at first. So we loop one time here where this here starts, then another loop for the end of that and for the other thing too. So we got that. Then we need a distance from here to here and from there to there. So we give them a loop at the top and a loop at the down part. We select your background selection width and get these 2 points here and bring them near to because here is smaller than there. So we get that. That is fine. So we get the faces here and delete them. X only faces. Then we have holes in there. Uh, Now they look too wired. That means we must sharpen them. So we sharpen them with loops. We can control here now how sharp it should be. I think that is good. And another loop to control that here. So that looks for me good. Let me make with the other two. And then we got that. That is good, but we want to have a thick thing around it. So for that, we mark that whole thing, extrude, scale down, and scale to the X a little. Then we get the whole loop and extrude in the Y. Then we got that here. When we smooth that, looks good. When you want it sharper, you can make that with a loop. All in all, we see we must go out here and scale that in the Y. That we have a small one. Now we have to re-output that. And how I told you, when you make here loops in, then you can sharpen up the whole model, the whole outstanding part there. You see it here. Good. We need to open the background so that we can see through it. That means we take here all edges and delete them simply. Then we can see through it. So the next thing we have to do it on the right side too. So extrude scale and scale on the X. Mark that whole loop. Extrude and bring it out to the Y. Then bring the whole loop to the front and one to the back. So we sharpen up the edges. Smooth that too. Good. We done that. That we have. Now we see from here comes some outstanding part that goes up there. So for that, we need to give there a loop. We make a loop to the left side that we have there a sharp bending. We make it here too. Then we say where that starts. this round part, make it in the middle, and here in the middle too. So that means here. Good. Now we can take this whole thing out. That means we take the faces here and extrude them to the set. You see, we get automatically this round stuff there and this round stuff too. But we see here comes another thing out. So that means we take that here again and extrude them down up. And then we get that here. So that is fine for now. We scale that here a little in the X, that we have more similar look here and flowing here. Then we have to do from the side. It is round 2 there, and we want to sharpen up that. So we need a loop at the front and a loop at the back. So you see that it is much better, and scale in Y a little. It isn't that fat that we build it that. It is something like that, or a little bit smaller, something like that. Good. Then we need here this banded parts there. For that, we go to the back side and make here in a loop in the middle of them, and here 1, 2, and then we close that parts here, and we make it on the other side 2. So like that, and then we mark that all and get here out 1, and the same we did on the other side. Extrude and bring them out. It can be in the middle, that isn't that important. You don't see that later. Uh, so, but you see here is the bending to create, so we give the loop to sharpen up that, and give the loop to the back part of that. The same we make on the other side. You can surely take a mirror modifier for that, so you only must build the half of them and the rest is copied. But here it's not regular model from there. Better do it like I did it. Good. This edge here should be real round. So for that we need to change their sum. We get background selection width and get this line here, only this line here, and move them a little away. Then we mark this loop and get with them back to, and then we have a nice looking roundness there. And when it isn't enough, what can be, then you can take more loops in there. I must look, that sharpens up that, and here that sharpens up. Maybe we should get here this sharpen thing away. I will try that. Yeah, that was a good idea. And here the same. That is good. And that we don't need. So I dissolve these edges. Now that we can dissolve too. That we can close. And we have to do here a loop that we can move to a little, and then we can make it more round looking. Yeah, we have here a problem. Think we can get this here away. X, these are edges. And maybe at the bottom too. So we come near to them that we need. Yeah, that's for me is okay. Make it on the other side too. So that was, we take this line here and bring them up. Then we get that line here and bring them a little up, a little to the side, and should be round. And here we have the same, it flatten it, because we have too many loops there that sharpen that up. So we must delete the things that sharpen that. That is this here and that. That sharpen that. So X, dissolve edges. And you see it comes more round. You can do it here too. But then you become there a problem, so we let it. And here at the down part, you can get these two edges away. Of course, they sharpen that up. And so we got that here. That is good. You can tweak that perfectly, but I don't want to do that. And you see that these holes are more in the middle. The whole thing from the down part is too big in here. That is a small one. That is a small one. So we get the middle part complete with background selection. So, but not this here, not this. And bring them up to point. Yeah, like here. Then we get the down part, that here, and bring them more up. And we have a smaller one. Then we have nearly that. We can that here scale a little, that we can do, but we don't must do that. We can, but we don't must do that. So when we scale that, we can do that. Maybe you like. So we see that here comes a little thing out and here comes a little thing out. So that means we take here the down faces here and bring them out. So extrude and bring them out, but only a little. Then you see we must sharpen up that. So we scale in the X a little. Then we get here a loop to sharpen up that. Then another loop to sharpen up that. That we make on both sides. So we get that. That is good, but here we need to loop at the front too to sharpen up and at the back too. Then we sharpen that. Good. We have that. Now we have here a figure part at the top. So for that, we need to get this whole part. That means that here too. So we mark that all. And this here too. Yep, and then we extrude that up. Then we loop this whole part. So there's that. And then we can scale, and we give them to the Y a little. Scale Y. And you see that comes out, but it makes some problems. That's because we must go here out and the other goes to the set. So there are different angles there that we want to control. So I try something. Extrude scale. Individual origin, that brings nothing. Then we can take here that we control the normals. That brings nothing too, so we go back. Good. Then we have another possibility to do that. We must look. So we make a curve here. So from here, add a curve, Bezier curve, rotate x 90, scale down. Now we move along this. So we grab that, bring that into position, edit mode, go to the start of the roundness. Here, go down, that we follow the line. Then we extrude it to the middle. Then we bend it, such like that. Then we extrude it to the end of the roundness and bend that too. Can bring that more in the front, then you see what we do there. So you see it leans up with the rest. Then middle point, extrude to the start of the roundness. Bring that here back in. Get here offload. Then middle point to the half and grab it that you line up with the model. That we do here to the middle point and then grab that and position that. Same do here. Extrude to the down to the middle part. Grab and positioning. Middle point, extrude to the half. Grabbing middle point, extrude to the end of the roundness. Grabbing, positioning, good. Extrude to the middle of that. So we got that line here. This line must be follow in the other direction. So we go from top view and then we get middle point and extrude that to that direction too. So we got that. We take this middle point and this middle point, go here back to global, and we make it in the middle of this thing here. So we got that. Then the same we make on this side, middle point, extrude to that middle point, and bring them straight down. So we have to get here harder. Good. So we got that line. The problem with that line is that here must be real round. So we have to get here a middle point there, and then we can bend it here better and give them here better result. But be careful with that. When that rotates there, that is all shit. Tricky things. Okay, good. We make it here. So 2. Middle point, get them a little bit higher, and bend that then to a normal look. Good. So we got this 3D line here that you see, and we can now with a curve modifier put there another thing in. So file, save. For that we need a high detailed uh, thing that we can bring on it. So we get here cube. I think the thickness we can take from here. So scale set, that is enough. And the thickness should be more than the brightness of the rest so that we see they're changing. That is good, that's brighter. Then we need a long thing from there. It must go around this whole thing there. So we scale that in set very long. Then we go in and make there hundreds of loops and give them a subdivision surface on it. Get there the end sharp and the middle and the other side too. Good. How we make that now that that flows with that? We use a modifier. We use a curve modifier. We search the name from this thing. It's cube 50. So we give here cube, 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 cube. Good. We search it. So, well, what's the name? I look here. Cube 50. So they must be here. Ah, we need the name of the curve surely. So the Bezier curve. So we go here and say Bezier curve. And what name was that? Bezier curve 28. So Bezier curve 28. Now we can click this axis, and when you now move that, you see he tries to follow them, but this direction is the wrong one. So when we get the X direction, you see that isn't that what we want. So we get here set, and we see it tries to follow them. That is what we want. You see that we get problems because that isn't detailed enough. So we go back in here and give them all in all subdivide 2, and then that flows better. So we scale that to that it is a smaller one, and then we can try different values here. That is too crazy. So we got that. That follows, but we must rotate that. So rotate X 90 degrees. We go back and Y. And then we go to the geometry point is here. Yeah. Okay. Now we have to rotate that. So we make the curve modifier out and rotate Y 90 degrees and try again. I think that is not enough for that. We will see that. We make here on. A little bit too great, all in all. So we must go more from the axis to the point that we near on. So we grab them to a position where that can work. That is here. So we see we need it much longer. Oh, must find a good value there. Yeah, here at the curves, there is the problem that he can't handle that. Yeah, that is a problem. So we let that. We have no chance with that. What we can do is we can take that here and make it to a 3D object. So we give them a full, this curve. Then we give them a depth. Then we got that. Then a resolution of 3 or 2. So we got that. When we now take one of them, I must try that every time. Then we got here the possibility to make that brighter in that direction, so we can make it here smaller, brighter like we would. The depth, we can say how fat that should be. So such like that. When we now put that on, we have that 3D looking effect there. Good. We let that like it is in the moment. We can tweak there a little so that it rounds up better if you want. You can get here this middle points and bring that then more out or bend that more, that you can do all live. There's no problem. We get that here and bring that little up. So that's good. Here's the same. Get that, sorry, with them here and get that up. Then we can line up that better. So we go more to the set. Then we got that here. That is for the bending in the other direction, but we can go down a little. Good. So we got that. That is okay for me. So we can let it like it is. Good. Next thing we got to do, we have here double sharp. That makes it not easier, but we let it like it is. Good. So we have this things built before in the wagon, so we copy them into simply. That means we get this thing here. That is the same like that thing here. So we go to our wagon and get this here, that, and these two side things there. We can take the screws with, I think. So Shift D, we have that, and that we bring to our new billet wheel set there, wheel holder set there, and bring it in front. Scale them down. Such like that. Then we have the scale of them set it, so we can get these two and bring them near, that it goes into the other object. That same we make here. We go into and bring the screw near in. Good. So we got that. We go back to material mode. We see what we have. We have here our object now in. We must bring the screw to the front. Sure. So we got that. Then we mark all again and bring that near to the material. We've forgotten that one. Yeah, bring that onto. So we got that. This whole thing we need on the other side too. So Shift D, make a copy of that and bring that to the other side too. Good. We done that. We see here the only difference here is there are screw heads around the thing. So for that, we need normally screw head. So I make here this view, wireframe view, and add mesh cylinder and give them 6 point. So we scale down, rotate X90, scale down. Then we have here a middle point and we want to rotate that around, but we must count how many that. So I will search a picture where we can count that. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 screws around. So we get that screw here. That is a little bit too bright and white, so we scale it there and go here. And it must be around this round stuff there. So we bring them to that point near, and we have set it should be 8 or 9. So we make here the 3D cursor and make the origin to the 3D cursor. Then we go in edit mode and say here spin. Say here 360 degrees for a complete circle. 360. And then we got this around that we bring onto the material and Shift D to the other side too. Shift D and bring it to this side too. Position it. Okay. So we done that. The only thing to do is that here. That means we get here a circle, rotate X90, scale down to a point like that. Then we go in edit mode, get here the words and delete some of them. That we only have this here. That is enough. Shift D to duplicate, rotate Z 180. Get these two words, F to close. Get these words, E to extrude, bring them down. Scale in the X or grab. So we have here the outer lines. Good. Then mark all and extrude scale. Then we can give them the thickness that we need, such like that. Here the down part. We must make even. So take that here and scale set 0. And then we have that. Good. We done that. That are the things that goes around there. So we get them all and extrude that to the Y. And then we have that. We can make a smooth on there, but be careful, we only need them on 2 places. There's from here to here. We go here to smooth faces. Then from there to there, smooth faces. And the inner part too. So from here to here, smooth. And this part too. Now we have to loop because of the shading. I told it 1,000 times. And so that looks good then. Good. Let it like it is. Then we recalculate that so that all normals in the same direction, and then that looks fine. So we bring that now to our object. So we go up and bring it in front of. So go set wireframe mode so we can see better what we do there. And we have to do that a little bit smaller all in all. Such like that. Shift D to duplicate, bring it on the other side too. Then we look here in material mode. Now we must look how fat that are. They are so fat that that one goes over that. That means that can be greater, but it must be over that all. So we scale that on the Z and a little on the X so that we can bring it brighter than the other thing there is. And we bring it a little bit out. So that is okay. So we can delete that here and make a copy of that, Shift D, and bring it here. And then we done that. Here we must scale a little bit more. So we got that. And that is okay. We got this complicated thing done. The only thing we can do is that we bring here this middle part, deepness, so that we extrude in the Y. That you can do. And here too, so that have a deepness there. Then mark or recalculate that. Then you need surely loops in there, like every time. And to the backside, and to the front, and to the back. Then you can use on them this add split modifier too. Then all problems gone. And that is what we have now. That is good. File, save. For today, that is enough. So we see us in the next tutorial. See you. Bye.